Hello, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners, doing an overview of the ETFs. Why do we do this? It's not because we like to look at a bunch of charts, all right? We have a limited amount of money. We have a limited amount of time. We strive to use both assets wisely. By looking at the ETFs, we systematize things. We're looking for strength, right? Leading groups produce leading stocks, and leading stocks produce leading groups. Here's biotechnology. You can see this. This is weekly on the left, daily on the right. There it is. It starts to take out these tops here or here with volume and a good market. That could be a buy. A lot of overhead here. Be aware of that. So what do we see? If it can take out these tops with really heavy volume and a good market, as I stated earlier, potential. There you go. But again, the market's sloppy. You'll see it in a minute. Here we go. Cloud computing is way down here, folks. There's not a lot of leadership here. The base is okay, but wow, there's a ton of overhead here too. Be careful with that. That also shows you the severity of this decline. I mean, look at this. But this group's been lagging for a long time, all right? Continue onwards. Electric vehicles. Tesla's a big part of this. NIO. Take out these tops here, possibly, but it needs power. And again, note what it did on the weekly chart. Fell on a pickup in volume. You won't see this chart set up in any book saying, this is what you look for to buy. You won't hear Bill O'Neill say, you see this pattern right here? You see this base down here with all this overhead supply? That's exactly what you look for. No, definitely not. Leading groups, leading stocks. Leaders lead. Leaders are near highs. There you go. Dow Jones Internet, ton of overhead supply, low level base down here, but man, ton of overhead. Look at all this. So be cautious with that. IBD 50. This is a good proxy. This is the ETF of the IBD 50 stocks, which is a great list of leading stocks. They're vetted. This thing hit multi-year, or here low, I guess it might be multi-year lows right here. It just shows the market's crummy. Don't argue with it. It will turn. Until it does, preserve both financial capital and mental capital. Don't argue with it. You'll be that much better for it. Here we go. And it will turn. Bull markets haven't been outlawed, okay? Gold miners lifted up a little bit right here. Good volume on this bar. Low level shelf right here, possibly. And I'll draw it for you. There you go. And full disclosure, we're in this from down here, okay? Here it is. Right there. This is where we picked it up. Look at the volume pickup. Check this out. I'll do this for you. There you go. Clean and simple base, volume through the tops. There we go. Nothing fancy. Off to the races. Be careful buying here. It needs to push through these tops with real volume, okay? And a good market. Got to have it, folks. GLD, similar situation. Lifting up. Some tops in here. Need some power through here. This looks a little better than some of the other charts I just showed you. IBB started to go. This is indicative of the market. Starts to go here on the weekly on a pickup in volume, right? Breaking out. Decent volume here on the daily, breaking out. They take it right back down. That's the kind of market we're in right now. Please don't argue with it. It will change, okay? Bull markets have not been outlawed. It will change. And you'll be ready, we'll be ready, both financially and mentally. Online retail, look at all the overhead supply here. What does this tell you? I'm staying away from online retail. Good for you. That's awesome. Oil and gas looked like it was getting ready to break out across these weekly tops. And this is why you don't argue with it. Look at that. Look at that drop. Look at the drop through the 50-day. Look at the volume pickup. Don't argue with it. And again, weekly on the left, daily on the right. We'll continue here. Technology, software, lagging. Be careful with that. It needs to show power. Dow Jones Medicine, some basing down here, but you know, it's way below the moving averages. This is the weekly chart. Be careful with that. If it does lift, possibly across this top, but tons of overhead, not a slam dunk. Mid cap, sloppy here. Be careful with it. Construction, U.S. home construction, there's a base here, but not a lot of power. Be cautious. S&P 500 growth. This fell on a pickup in volume on the weekly, folks. There's just not a lot of leadership there. Small cap needs to take out these tops, but it's near the lows. Not a lot of leadership. Jets, airlines, you can see these tops across here. But again, you're not going to see this setup chart set up in any book saying, this is what you want to look. This is a weekly. This is what you want to look for. You wouldn't see it. You wouldn't hear anybody say it. See this? Oh yeah, this is the setup you want. No. So stack it in your favor. Strength begets strength. That's good to key on. Regional banking. In literally, this is why I do this at Mission Winners. In literally 1 second, and I'm staying away from that. That's power. So many people say this is what I should look for. Yes, this is also what I should look to avoid. And that narrows our search down, improves our potential results. Mid-cap, a little choppy here, started a lift, they gave it right back. Here it is, look at the daily. Lifts off on good volume, it's indicative of the market. Lifts off on good volume, breaks out, they take it right back. It's the kind of market you're in. Please know this again, I am not being negative. I'm just reporting on what's happening. It's analogous to looking outside and say it's raining. Oh, that's negative. No, I'm just observing what is. It's raining. God, don't want to go out there and get wet. Same thing's true when doing these observations here on the stocks, the ETFs, the indices. Oil, OIH, ran up great. We owned this down here. Check this out. This is the weekly. Here's the daily. See that breakout right here? You see the volume surge? That was a good run. We locked it in. There we go. Clean and simple on the weekly, clean and simple on the daily. Volume surge through the tops. I'll show it again. Everybody could see it. Nothing fancy. There you go. Market was better then too. Online retail lagging. Be careful with that. Pharmaceuticals, drugs, picking up some, okay? Lifted across this top. Never really had any volume conviction here, okay? So there's no really clean entry, but it is near some tops across here. Something maybe to bear watching. NASDAQ 100 QLD. I love this ETF. But you can see it rallied right up here on the weekly, and it's fallen again, and it's loose. Needs to take out these tops across here with volume, okay? And until then, wait. QQQ, same situation. Retail, RTH, lifted up. By the way, you can always look and see, what is this ETF? There it is. It's the Van Eck Retail ETF. Ran up, and again, choppy with the market. Cloud computing, it's basing, but not a lot of power there. Fell on an increasing volume on the weekly. It's choppy, be careful. Silver's picked up a little bit here. Okay, had a decent base right there. Now, you can see that base. I wouldn't chase it up here. All right, be cautious with that. But you can see it acts a little bit better than a lot of them. Steel, metals, basing here, maybe forms a handle and lifts off. Doesn't look bad. In relation to a lot of other ETFs, doesn't look that bad. You see why we do this? We're looking at strength, potential areas to maybe invest to make money, and also areas to avoid. We're not like that. Stay away from. SMH is pretty choppy here. All right, needs to take out these tops. A lot of overhead. Spider started to lift up. They gave it right back. Here it is here. You can see it in the ETF, and you can also see it in a lot of the leading stocks. You know, SSO, same situation. Be careful. Solar started to pick up. They give it right back. TNA never really lifted. Okay, it's underperforming. Be aware of that. Small caps. Uranium, in 1 second it says, better stay away from there. There you go. Oil, look at this. See this drop here on the weekly, it goes up, it starts to fall again. What's it tell you? Be careful with the oil stocks. All right, if you own them, watch them and sell some into strength, which we have done. Okay, what does this tell us now? Falling on increasing volume on the weekly. Leave it alone. Avoid it. Done. We don't have to overthink it. It's important to know, this is a very important fact, okay? I've been doing this a long time. I was running money in 86, 87. You've got to know what to look for to potentially buy, and you've got to know what to look for to avoid. There's power in both of those facts. So now let's look at the max list. Please know this, by the way, and this is for everybody, I'm not being negative. There's a great quote, I never met a wealthy pessimist. Please, we're looking for opportunities, but we're realists. We accept reality, not what we think it should be. All right, that'll help you. Here's Apple on the weekly. You can say, yeah, it runs up, and they gave it right back, and it's loose here. This is called wide and loose. Wide and loose indicates high investor emotions, wide swings here. Be careful with that. We like patterns that are clean and simple and relatively tight. It indicates low investor emotions, which often leads to good base breakouts and runs. Here we go. Loose here, Apple, be cautious. I mean, look, it starts to lift up and they take it right back down below the 50-day. Nothing great here. Amazon, there's a base right here, low level base, because here's the weekly. Starts to lift, they take it right back. There's no real power there yet. Just wait, gotta wait to see a setup. Not there. Alibaba started to lift a little bit right through these tops here, okay? You see that base right there? And you can see it on the weekly. I'll draw it for you. There you go. It's simple bases, simple tops. See the volume pickup? And yes, it was on the key list, and VIPs own it. Some VIPs own it. There you go. Sold some into strength. That's it. Clean and simple. Move onwards. BIDU started to lift across this top. We did BABA, but BIDU did the same thing, lifted and moved up some. And here it is on the weekly. There you go. I'm not saying buy it now, please, but I'm just pointing out. Here, I'll do something for you. Let's do this real quick. I love teaching and coaching. There you go. Just simple base right here. Picked up through this top on a slight volume pickup and then followed through. I'm not saying buy, but just train your eyes and minds to look for clean and simple flat bases. There's a reason why from a psychological perspective. We want to key on, focus on chart setups that everybody can see. Why? If everybody sees it, does it not increase the potential that they will buy also? Yes. Flip that coin. Here's the other analogy. And I had a guy I used to work with. Pat, I found a chart pattern that is awesome. And so we're going through it. He goes, the best part, I don't think anybody knows about it. And I said, well, if nobody knows about it, does that mean they'll buy? No, we'll be the only ones that know. Well, if we're the only ones that don't know, that's not going to be a lot of buying power in there, is there? He goes, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. We focus on patterns that everybody can see. It increases the potential that A, they'll see it, and B, they'll act on it. They'll buy. And that's what we want. So there's BIDU, okay? Google's just chopping around here. And, you know, it rallies up, and then they just take it back. It's choppy here. Be careful with it. There's nothing to do with it. Goldman Sachs starts to lift up, approaches these tops, and they take it right back. Nothing there. And here's the weekly. Runs up, they take it right back and take it over the market. Meta, which used to be Facebook, just choppy here. Look at all this overhead supply. There's really nothing to do with it, all right? Microsoft started to base through these tops here, lifted across on volume, and they take it right back into the base. It's the poster child for the market. So many of them did this. Breakout, volume, and they take it right back. And never argue with price. Oh, it has to come back. Why? Because we own it? No. It will do what it's going to do. We just accept reality and adjust our tactics accordingly. That's it. Netflix, there was a base here that lifted off, okay, on the weekly, and it's just chopping around. You can see it's trending a little bit, but even on Friday, that's indicative of the market. Look at this. Gaps up, runs up, and reverses down on a pickup in volume. Closes near the lows. I'm not saying sell it. That's not my point. But it's just choppier, okay? And that's a part of the market. I'm not knocking the stock. Many of them are like this. NVDA starts to break out above these tops, runs up, and they take it right back down. Still doesn't look bad on the weekly, okay? Closed up just a little bit. But the best charts, the best stocks, break out a clean and simple basis and just go. Good to remember. Tesla, nothing here. You can say, yeah, boy, that's way down. There ain't nothing going on. Has Tesla ever been good to us? Well, it was pretty good to us back here, all right? And it was really good to us right here. That was dang near a double right there, folks. There you go. Over and over, clean and simple basis, and runs. Runs pay. You see this base breakout right here? All right, weekly. See the volume pickup on that bar? Look, clean and simple tops, breakout, run. Focus on that and you will dramatically improve your investing results and money. So this is just basing here. It needs to come across these tops, okay? Till then, just be a little cautious with it. And spiders, let's see, let's make sure yep, that was the last one, was Tesla. Anyway, this is the max list. Here it is for you. I don't have any secrets. These are the ones. These are the big name institutional stocks that money can flow into these and run for a while. And when it does, it's just a lot of fun. Look at the clean and simple base. I just grabbed this one right here. And look at the run. There we go. Anyway, I hope this helps you. What's in summation, what do we see here right now in the markets? Action's pretty sloppy, pretty rough, choppy. Be careful. If buying, go smaller. Control risk. There will be a day that they take off and they run with no testing. By protecting our capital now, we're helping ourselves. And there are two forms of capital in the markets. And this is very important. There's financial capital and there's mental or psychological capital. Protect both of them. That way, when things do turn, you don't have any financial baggage or psychological baggage dogging you.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.